Welcome back to another episode, guys, on the four-wheel drive 650 Rincon powered buggy. I'm going to be cutting the whole front end off to start off. I don't like how I set it up. I want to set it up differently so all my pivot points are correct with my CVs as well as my A-arms. So enjoy the video. I'm going to be cutting apart this front end, rebuilding a new one, and mounting all the A-arms. Enjoy. So now we have this center bar centered with the floor pan. So what's good about that is the diff mounts can come off of this bar as well as this one. Now we can build some ears off of this one. This bar is going to be taking quite a bit of load, but we can do a nice, I don't know, 1/8 inch would be probably overkill, but a piece of sheet metal to tie this in. We can do a few dimple dies in it. Then what's cool about this setup is from this bar to the top of this bar, of course it's an angle, and that's 12 degrees, so that's going to put our front end on a 12-degree slope, which we want, because when you come up to an obstacle, if your front end, if your A-arms just go up and down, you're going to hit this log and the tire is going to have to force its way up and then over the log, where if they're tilted back, like I said, 12 degrees, or you can go as radical as 20 degrees if you want to. But what that's going to do is help you pop over that log and put less strain on all your heim joints, because the A-arms will be leaned back. They'll naturally want to go back this way. So we'll have a 12 degree, I think we did around 10 to 12 degrees on the other buggy, the supercharged buggy. And now we don't have to have that stupid weird bar, which those are the work fine that I cut on the last front end. We can just have a 2 notch straight from here, straight from there. That'll be a solid, and this ties this whole nose together, but everything clamped down real tight. And I'm going to be TIGging as much as possible on this buggy because it looks freaking sick. So we cut these bearing braces or these bearing holders out of the original spindles. So now we can weld these into our new spindles, tack them into place, get it aligned like this. We still have alignment on each heim joint. We can move the tire, the bottom of the tire out to get like different camber. And so now we can tack this on, and the first spindle will be done. So we got one spindle pretty much made. We got to fully weld it out, of course, and brace a few areas of it. But I'm pretty excited. This is the old CV off the ATV we got it off of. But it looks freaking sweet. Those are those 27 by 9 by 14s. So my buggy over there, if you can see it behind the pile of stuff, it's got 28s with 12-inch wide or 12-inch wheels. This is 14s with 27, so 2-inch bigger rim and 1-inch smaller tire, but it still just looks super aggressive.
It looks more aggressive.
Oh yeah, with those tires.
Just the way these cleats are designed just looks nasty.
Yeah, and that spindle, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And we got some cleaning up to do on it, welding it out. But we're not going to bore you guys with making the second side, but I will explain a few things. You can see this is a shorter A-arm than the bottom. This has full adjustability, of course, being an A-arm. If I don't want to adjust it out here, I can adjust it out at the pivot points here. By all the heim joints are tightened all the way up. So we have over probably 1.25 inches of movement we can do up here to get different adjustment. And you want this kingpin angle, so if you drew a line through this and through that heim joint, you want it to land around about center of your tire where it makes contact with the ground. And we have, ours is hitting about right in here, so we're pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with that. The CV's clearing this nut right there, and that'll never get closer. And what we're going to do is put a half, like a jam nut, which is half the thickness, and do fine thread. Then just like on my buggy, we'll have a lock nut, and we'll use a little blue Loctite just so we know that it ain't going anywhere. But it looks freaking sweet.
Got plenty of turning also.
Yeah, more than the CVs will allow us to do, because your CV being 4-wheel drive, that's going to limit our steering. But if this was a 2-wheel drive buggy, you could
be drifting.
drift monster. Well guys, the front end's pretty much all done. I do not do my tie rod ends, my tie rod connections on my spindles until the rear end's done to get the right Ackerman angle. So in the next episode, we'll get the engine mounted in the rear, and we'll also start building our trailing arms. It'll be the first set of trailing arms I ever built. I got a real good design that I'm copying from a Razor aftermarket trailing arm. And it has full adjustability to it and everything. So make sure to tune in to the next episode of this. We're going to start working on this at least one day a week. We have a million other things to do. So be patient, this thing's coming along. We'll get those spindles welded out and all installed on the front end. So when we get our rear built, we can finally do our steering setup. We've got a couple different rack options we're going to show you guys. And yeah, so make sure to check out all the links in the video's description. They do help us out a ton. Also, these heim joints are amazing. We're using chromoly on this buggy. On my old buggy, we use the economy style. And this company, we've been using their heim joints for over 5 years. And they're amazing heim joints. My buggy runs absolutely beautiful through the suspension travel. And that's because using good heim joints and getting all your geometry right with your front end is very important. So if you guys want me to go break down everything about this front end on a separate video, I'll do so. We've done it in the past. Is the only reason I haven't done it on this one. We did it with my buggy, but make sure to check out those links. They do help us continue to do these videos. It helps to show that our videos are working, and it helps to get you guys the parts you need to accomplish something like this. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if y'all want to see a whole breakdown on the front end. Once I get the Ackerman angle and everything done, we can explain how I came up with everything. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. We love you.